We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Hey, ram.
Wentz now on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere.
That's it. 82.
Wentz will try again on second down. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
I'll bring it to you. 82.
Wentz going to throw. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
82.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
81.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And it's intercepted at the goal line. T.J. Green with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rudolph throwing on second down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. Touchdown, Washington! Paul Richardson, 79 yards. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. It's Clement, and he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Go.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Working from the gun, Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. An Eagle 1st down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ. Wentz now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's 1st down.
Lion. 82.
Now a play fake. Wentz. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Zach Brown coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
82.
Wentz. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Go. 81.
Throwing is Wentz. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On 1st down, Wentz. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now they'll run it on the toss. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Now Wentz on third down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. And the first play will be a field goal try. This one from 46 yards out. Oh, and Elliott has pushed it to the right. It is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it. And it's second down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Nice job there defensively on third down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
Third and 2, Rudolph. He'll get this out to his running back, P-Rod. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And they'll go on the ground. They find some open field here. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Throwing on third down, here's Rudolph. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Tackled there by Monte Nicholson.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On second down, here's Wentz. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fielded just inside the 20. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll run it here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
All right, here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Rudolph. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Rudolph. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. Now they'll run it on the toss. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss. Rudolph looking to throw it. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Leopard! Leopard!
And on the ground they go with the running back. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Out of the gun, Rudolph. And he slings one that's incomplete. Marshall, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Redskins on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at a third and goal here. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down.
Now I would be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
And Hopkins' kick is good. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll fake it. Now Rudolph. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Nigel Bradham in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. The Redskins on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be third and a mile.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And he fires one that's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in. Front Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. And they'll go on the ground. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
They'll try the air now. Here's Rudolph. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rudolph. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. Oh, good move at the 10. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Throwing now is Wentz. Stepping up, and he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game.
Gun! 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 Gun!
Here's Rudolph now on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
He's going to, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Go, go. 180! Man 5-7.
Now Wentz. Going for the deep ball. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
82, 82.
Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, at any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. Now they try the right side here. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Redskins on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Rudolph now to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Wentz going to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Wentz. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Redskins on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Rudolph. They'll drop it off to Pirine, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
I think this is where we see how the game has moved along a little bit. Free safety, no blitz, but reads the play, has no responsibility in coverage, and takes a gamble and goes and gets the quarterback.
Well, is that a spot, though, where when he's coming, the quarterback needs to be able to find somebody or not necessarily?
Has to, because with that amount of time coming from the free safety position, someone should break open.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
3rd and long, it's Rudolph. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. T.J. Green with a pick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go.
They will throw it here with Rudolph. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Complete. Richardson has it. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. It's the fullback, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll run again with Clement. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
The Eagles on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run with Clement. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Washington, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia,